about when we got a claim situation and we disagree with the carrier?
Well, this happens a lot, and that's why, you'll see carriers that will allow a client to just call Safeco Direct and write a policy through them, and then they don't really have an agent, so it kind of cuts us out, and they can go straight through Safeco. Well, this is a great example of why you should not do that, because if you get into a claim situation and you do not agree with the carrier, who's going to go to fight for you? It's going to be us. It's going to be your agent. And so that's not to say every single time we're going to win, but yeah, we have the ability to go to the carrier and try to make it happen, try to fight on our client's behalf. And as an agent, you have that option, and you should do it. You should go to bat for your client every time. Makes you more valuable to your client, and sometimes the carrier is wrong.
And that's the power of being with us. If you disagree with the carrier, we can help you. Now,
that's right.
Usually in personal lines, when you have a disagreement it's usually on the reconstruction cost. Like you've got a bid that's much higher than what the insurance company says it's worth. And so what you need to do there is your contractors have different, I think there's 3 or 4 different types of software they use to pull up an actual bid where they break it down line by line for the carrier. And you want to get at least 3 of these. So if you're going to argue with the carrier on the cost of the build, get at least 3 of those.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're still arguing, you can get an engineering firm to come out and give you an estimate.
There's a lot of different options for sure, and
right.
I would say we mostly see discrepancies and disagreements on auto claims. Where you wreck your 2019 Ford F-150 and Safeco's trying to give you $25,000 for it whenever it's worth more than that. And again, that's where you would want your agent to try to go to bat for you. And again, that goes back to just writing the policy correctly. If you put them in a good policy, you're not going to have to worry about this kind of stuff.
Chubb is agreed value on auto, so there's no arguing. It's amazing.
Mitch likes Chubb.
Yeah, agreed value.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you could agree that the value is $20,000, and 5 years later, it's still $20,000.
Yeah, and most of our carriers, when it comes to auto, if it's a newer vehicle, almost all of our main carriers that we work with offer that. They offer agreed value, and that means your client can say, I owe $62,000 on this vehicle. That's what I want to insure it for. And then again, in the next couple of years, we'll revisit that because they've paid it down and it's not worth that anymore, and things like that. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, agreed value is good.
Yep, every time.
It makes it easy.
Yep.
And if you're going to argue on the claim on an auto, getting more than one estimate.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
a real estimate, not your buddy down the street who wrote down on a handkerchief that he thinks it's $50,000. That's not going to fly.
Yeah.
If you bring a contractor buddy of yours in that writes it down on a piece of paper and doesn't use that software, that's not going to fly.
No.
And honestly, most good contractors are going to give you they're used to dealing with insurance companies, and they're going to do the estimate correctly because they want to get paid on it.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like especially Allstate and Encompass, like they have their own people that they'll go to, and that will ensure that you get paid quicker if you go through their people, but you don't have to. So that's something super important to pass on to your clients. I mean, you don't have to use who your carrier tells you to. If Allstate tells you go to Collision Joe down the road, you don't have to do that. Your client can go to whoever they want, and the carrier is obligated to pay them. Again, it might be a little quicker if you go to the contracted place, but no, it's definitely your client's choice.